Australia is one of the biggest live cattle exporters in the world, shipping $1.5 billion worth of livestock to Asia every year. Now, Gina Rinehart, Australia's richest woman, wants access to the biggest prize of all, China.
China has been the focus of many businesses lately. It's a massive market. When we start to talk 1.3 billion consumers, in a growing middle class, there's a more sophisticated palate, as I said, there's an opportunity for tremendous growth, and reasonably quickly, I believe.
As well as being lucrative, China will provide greater security for farmers.
We're dependent heavily on those key markets I mentioned earlier in Indonesia and Vietnam. Some greater market diversity would be smart business.
Mrs. Rinehart has teamed up with Chinese partners to create a supply chain that stretches from cattle stations in Australia's outback to China's supermarket shelves. They hope to ship 300,000 head of cattle a year. Ms. Rinehart's plan will rely on establishing quarantine centres like this one here in Kamali, about an hour's drive south of Darwin. Vets would inspect the animals for the presence of disease and pests to satisfy strict Chinese import rules.
When they arrive, we want to check for general good health. Pests and diseases which in the tropical north include ticks, lice, any sort of parasite that's going to cause the animal some discomfort or general lack of performance or ill health. The China market that we're talking about, there's a focus there on a disease, bluetongue disease. It's the arbovirus. It's active in the soil of northern Australia.
Bluetongue disease is spread by midges. It can cause illness in livestock, and China places onerous quarantine restrictions on imports from regions such as Northern Australia where the disease is present. Mrs. Rinehart's plan depends on Canberra negotiating a new biosecurity protocol with Beijing. Talks between officials are centred around using Jintang Island, just off the coast of Shanghai, as a special quarantine zone.
Yeah, I think over time we'll see some sort of a softening or a compromise. There'll be a way to do this. The proposal of a special zone that can be quarantined from the rest of their herd in the form of an island makes good sense.
Mrs. Rinehart is hopeful a deal can be agreed by the end of the year, marking a step forward in Sino-Australian business ties and a huge boost to her mining to cattle empire. Jamie Smyth, Financial Times, Darwin.